Hello, my name is Michelle Wilson from Crawfords Rock Seaweed Company. Seaweed is fantastic for our health and something that we should all aim to include into our diet. We hand harvest all the seaweed and produce everyday products like our seaweed salt and our seaweed seasonings, which can add an extra culinary touch to our favourite meals.
Thank you for joining us on our cook along, kindly hosted by Unit T and supported by the County Down Rural Community Network Warm Well and Connect Fund. If you would like to find out more about Crawfords Rock or our products, please have a look at crawfordsrockseaweed.co.uk or look us up on Facebook or Instagram at Crawfords Rock. So we're going to make a lovely family meal. It's loaded potatoes with sausages and a spicy dip. It's suitable for everyone, you can tailor it to your own taste, and it's budget friendly.
First things first, wash your hands and then get your potatoes on the boil.
So while our potatoes are on the boil, we're going to prep our vegetables. So we'll start off with our pepper, so just cut it into whatever size you like to eat. So I like mine quite small and chunky, but if you like slices, you can go for slices. And then you can just set this off to the side. Okay, next up is our onion. So same as the pepper, just cut it as chunky or as finely as you like. We will be frying this off so it will get nice and soft. It's up to yourself how you like it though. Okay, and then we want to go for our mushrooms. So just cut the bottoms off them. And then you can just cut them however you like them as well. Mushrooms tend to shrink a little bit whenever we cook them. So if you want to keep them nice and chunky, you can go for halves or quarters. It's up to yourself. So just get chopping. I'm just gonna go for halves just because they're nice and quick. And just pop them into your bowl then. Okay, and the last thing we need to do is chop our red onion. For our red onion, we want to keep it nice and chunky, just so it gives us lots and lots of flavour. So just get it peeled. And then we're going to just keep it nice and chunky, so just like this. Perfect, and that's us ready to start. So guys, we have our potatoes on the boil, and now is also a good time to switch our oven on. So you want it on at 160 to 180. Okay, and just to get it preheated, ready for everything to go in. Okay, so heat your oil in your frying pan, and then we're just gonna dump our vegetables in. So we've got our onions first of all. Our mushrooms, and then our nice red peppers. Perfect, and we're just going to saute them down until they're nice and soft and translucent. Okay, so while everything is cooking, we're going to go ahead and make our dip. So we have some mayonnaise in our bowl here. So it's about 1 tablespoon. Then we have thyme, salt, a cayenne pepper, ground white pepper, garlic granules, and some salad cream. Okay, so just to begin with, if you put your 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise in, and then we're going to do the same just with the salad cream. So we want 2 of these. Perfect. And then I have just made a pre-mix here, so we can just dump these all in. Just be careful with the cayenne pepper, it can be quite spicy, so if you're making this for anybody who's small or anybody who doesn't like a lot of heat in their food, you may want to just, you know, dial that down a notch. So we just want to give it a good mix up. You may need to add some more salad cream or mayonnaise just to taste, or if you want to loosen it up and make it a wee bit runnier, you can mix it with a little bit of vinegar and water. But just as easy as that, that is our spicy dip.
So our vegetables are all nicely cooked and browned through, and we're just going to take these off and set them aside in a bowl. The potatoes are still in the boil, finishing off, and we're going to use this same pan then to fry off our sausages. So heat another wee bit of oil in your pan, get your sausages, and we're just going to brown them off nicely in the pan. Don't worry if they're not all cooked through, because they're going to go into the oven and they'll cook through in the oven. Your sausages should be starting to brown off now. This here is a wee recipe that I used to cook for my weans whenever they were at home, and now they're cooking it for their own children. Once they're ready and nearly brown, just set them off there to the side. And the next thing to do is just to drain your spuds.
Okay, so once your potatoes are done, if you get a tray, just a normal baking tray, and you can line it with whatever you have. So if you've got tin foil or a bit of parchment paper, just something that's going to stop it from sticking. And then we want to cut these into quarters. So just so they're nice and opened, and they can catch all the veggie goodness whenever we top them with that. The other thing that you can do is also just give them a little mash. So you don't want to mash them into nothing, but just you can give them a little squeeze just to make them nice and fluffy and crispy in your oven. If there is anything that's a little bit bigger, you can just cut it into bite-sized chunks. Brilliant, so that should be enough to fill your whole tray and fill your whole family. Perfect, so we want to grab our veggies then from earlier. So these are cooked veggies, and we're just going to top these. So just top your potatoes. Make sure your potatoes are nice and opened and spread out as well. So the best part about this is if you have little ones who are fussy, you can tailor it to them. You know, so you can leave half of your tray bake just plain, so you can, or you can just top it with whatever vegetables you want to. So it's nice and versatile for everyone. Brilliant. Okay, then we're just going to take our red onion that was nice and chunky from earlier, and then you can just set that in on top. So just again, if you have somebody who doesn't like red onion, you know, you can just avoid that for their little section of the tray bake then. So it's nice that we have this red onion because you know, this is going to cook at a different pace to what the white onion has cooked at, so it gives then a different texture and then a different taste to the tray bake as well. Okay, then we're going to get our sausages, and just nice and quickly, I just like using kitchen scissors because it's nice and easy and quick. We can just cut them up and top our tray bake with it then. So this just makes a really nice hearty family meal for everybody. Okay, so we don't need to worry if these are not cooked all the way through because everything's going back into the oven again, just so that we can make sure that it does get a really good blast, that our potatoes are nice and fluffy and crispy, and that our red onion begins to cook. Okay, so now we have all our toppings on. This bit's the most important bit. So you can choose whatever seasoning you like, but our seasoning of choice is our Crawfords Rock seaweed seasoning, and it's got sesame and chili, and it is just delicious. Okay, it comes in a handy little grinder, so you can just right over the top, give it a good grate. Perfect. So this was a family favourite in our house growing up, and it's a family favourite in my house now for my kids. We have used Crawfords Rock seaweed seasoning. You don't have to use that. If you have something else in your house that you would like to use, that's grand. You know, if you would like chili flakes or you know, some rosemary or thyme over the top of your potatoes, that's 100%. I am just going to add a little bit extra over the top of ours. So it's up to yourself, you know, it's totally up to your own taste buds. That's what makes this meal so great, is you can just tailor it for anybody who is eating it, and it just makes it absolutely delicious. The other thing that you can add over the top of this meal is some cheese. Just gives it a really, really delicious add-on, so it's up to yourself whether you want to add that in or not. Okay, so once you have your meal seasoned, it's ready to go in the oven. You know, you can cook this early in the day, and you know, you can cook it up later on in the evening for everybody coming home from school and work or whatever suits yourself. But ours is ready to go and we're ready to eat it now. So we're going to stick it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, just until everything's nice and brown and crispy. So double check that your oven is up to temperature, and then you can just pop it in. So after 20 minutes, everything should be ready. So you can switch your oven off. Just be careful taking it out. So everything is nicely cooked and nice and crispy and delicious. Yum. So all we need to do now is plate everything up, and then we can set that alongside our little dip that we prepared earlier.
I hope you enjoyed cooking along with us. We're going to go ahead here and get stuck into this lovely, delicious meal. And if you get a wee chance, give us a wee like on Facebook and Instagram. And I want to thank Jenna here for helping me out. Thank you.